Hi, Molly. How are you? And Emily? It's always interesting to be able to see everyone's backgrounds when they join.
Yeah.
Hi, Addie.
Addie.
There you go. Slowly but surely, we're having some mid students join us with their cameras. Thank you. So we'll start up momentarily because I know that we have a pretty packed, hi, Caden. We have a pretty packed schedule. We want to make sure to keep you moving throughout the day, okay? All right, so for the sake of our schedule, I am going to go ahead and get started. Hello, and thank you for joining us for the live Q&A on the Tim Russert Communication Department. My name is Zachary Rhodes. I'm the Director of Enrollment here at John Carroll University. This live session should serve as a follow-up for many who are hopefully able to view our pre-recorded session discussing the department, the concentrations included, and some of the student experiences. Use News, World, and Report ranked John Carroll #1 in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest for 2020. That's because we strive for more than what's required academically, personally, socially, and empower you to achieve what others see as improbable. We recognize that lifelong exploration connects us to endless discovery, wonder, and joy. So you'll graduate unafraid to pursue the unknown. And we have several of those highly rated faculty members, as well as students and alumni here with us today. I will now turn it over to Dr. Peggy Finucane, Chair of our Communication Department.
Thanks, Zach, and welcome to all of you. We would like to just hear what questions you have about the department and or the university. Zach will be with us, and anything that's out of our expertise, I'm sure Zach can help us with. But would you like to ask any questions to start, or we can ask some of the students and alumni to talk? What's your preference?
Dr. Finucane, if you don't mind, can you just introduce, have everyone who's on the John Carroll side, just introduce so the prospective students know who's with us, if you don't mind?
Sure. So we have Mr. Bob Knoll. He teaches in our media area and advises JCTV, which is the on-campus studio for students who are interested in media. Morgan Jockum is a junior. She's a communication major with the integrated marketing communication concentration. Eddie Murata is with us. He is an alum of the university. He was communication with a digital media concentration, went to work for the New England Patriots, and now is working for John Carroll. And then Gwen Ledrick is here. She's also a junior communication major with an integrated marketing communication concentration. And they're open to any questions you have. I'm happy to answer anything I can, or I can just throw some questions at them, and then as you listen to them and other questions come to you, we can go that way too.
Thank you so much. And as I mentioned, I know we had a couple students join us maybe after my intro. Please feel free if you have a question, but maybe don't have a great connection, you can utilize the chat feature to ask questions as well. Are there any questions from maybe if you guys were able to view the pre-recorded session that we can help out with? So to get the ball rolling, as maybe some of our middle students.
Oh, here,
Yep.
Sydney.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Sydney has a question.
Oh, perfect, Sydney. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi. So I'm going to go into, well, my plan is to be a journalist after college. So I just have one question about the John Carroll connections. Do you guys have a lot of connections in the journalism field?
Yes, we do.
We've
had a lot of, go on, Peggy, go on, keep going.
Oh, I was going to say that we have a arrangement with the Cleveland Plain Dealer, cleveland.com, to the only student who can have an internship there is a John Carroll student. It's in political communication, and it's a paid internship that any student who, you have to apply, and if they choose you, then you would have that internship. And we've had students who've done it for multiple semesters. We also have North Coast Media. I'm trying to think of some of the other publications where we have connections, and students regularly intern in these positions. And then many of them end up with jobs with these. We just had a
And
panel on journalism, and we had Jackie's with, she's an editor with a publication company down in Richfield, I think. And Zach is at Great Lake, yeah. And Julie is a reporter with the Chagrin Valley Times. And so we bring the alumni back to campus regularly as well. Bob, do you have other examples?
Yeah, I was going to say, yes, we have a young lady who works for Cleveland.com. She covers the entire Akron area. She's there. And plus we have, journalists all over the place. We have one that works for PBS's NewsHour. He's working for them now. And of course we have people at NBC over the years. And one of the things I would say about journalism is that one of the great advantages that John Carroll has is that we have an award-winning college newspaper called the Carroll News. And what's really good about this thing is that you can become involved right away. One of the big differences in a lot of other colleges is that to get to the newspaper or to start writing, you have to go through a seniority, and you're lucky if you can spend a semester working for the paper. But in our place, right away, you can start writing. And you gain experience, and we have seminars, and we have classes that you can take also. So you can get printed, you can get a lot of exposure, which is really critical for someone that wants to get in journalism.
Mm-hmm. You could also work with the radio station and do more journalistic skills there. If you don't necessarily want to be a DJ, you can work on the news and those kinds of things. So it's definitely a lot of opportunities. You could do a new show with JCTV as well. So there's a lot of opportunity for students to explore different areas of journalism, as well as to connect with alumni and to participate in internships. Does that help?
Yes.
Yes,
yeah,
thank
and
you.
if you're interested in
Did we
getting an
answer your
internship to
question?
a TV station, we have really good contacts too at the local TV stations.
Thank you.
Too.
I think Lakin,
And then there's the Meet the Press Fellowship.
Kincaid had raised her hand. Do you have a question, Lakin?
Yes, I do. So I'm very interested in political journalism, and I was wondering how common that is among the Carroll News and the JCTV station, if there's a place for that there. And I know the Meet the Press connections are very evident at John Carroll, but I was wondering, while on campus, if political news and writing political news pieces are available.
Definitely in the Carroll News, you can have your own column. You can cover the political world, which we've had over the years, and a lot of students have done really well there. So that's one thing you can consider. And concerning, again, with JCTV, you can have your own program. It's up to you. We provide the facilities, and we can teach you how to put a TV show together. I used to work in news, commercially, so I understand how to do that. And we also have a few other professors that know a lot about this business, so we can help you. And then we can also help you, link you eventually into, internships at some of the TV stations too, down the line.
Great, thank you so much.
We have a typed in.
Sure.
Yep, we
Who
have
else
a typed
had a
in question.
question?
So, Emily Doran asked,
Oh.
how common or possible is it for a student to minor in marketing and major in communications, or vice versa?
It's definitely possible. If you major in communication, we have a smaller number of credits required for the major than you would, because you actually major in business. You get a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, and your area of study would be marketing. And so that's a larger program, because you have to have the base courses, like 2 semesters of accounting, 2 semesters of econ, stats, and those courses that prepare you, and then you move into the marketing major. And so I've seen a lot of students do the communication major with a business minor. And we do also have students who've done double majors or a major in marketing through Bowler and then minoring in communication. So I think there's a lot of flexibility, and we will work with you to make it happen. We recommend 15 credits a semester. You might, if you want to do something like major in Bowler for marketing and minor in communication, or double major, you might need a summer class or 2, but your advisor would help you walk through all that. The difference between the marketing approach. So and I'm going to remember 3 of the 4, I promise you. The 4 P's of marketing. It's product, pricing, placement, and promotion. Oh, I got them all. And so the product, the pricing, placement, and product are more quantitative in nature. And so it's, crunching stats and analysis for that side of marketing. They're both very valid sides. The integrated marketing communication concentration is the creative side of marketing. So if you're more interested in the development of creative things, then the marketing would be the one for you. If you're more interested in doing some of that statistical analysis, then the bowler marketing might be a better choice. And if you've got both talents and interests, you could do the major in one, minor in another.
Thank you so much.
Does that help?
Any other student-led questions? You have a great panel of faculty, current students, and alumni. So you have a captive audience to get any of your answers, any of your questions answered.
So Eddie, maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you used the communication degree, through your internship and then moving into the New England Patriots in the media area.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for me, I think I had a couple of different divides in what exactly I wanted to do. I came into John Carroll with a very heavy digital media background with a lot of courses tailored to Photoshop and Illustrator. And I knew that I wanted to get into the creative side of things, but I didn't want to go to an art college. And I came to John Carroll looking at the communications degree, and the program grew exponentially during the time that I was there with courses geared towards digital media. And we did have the divide in changing the major a little bit with the courses, which I think really helped that concentration. But also extracurricular, there were a lot of different ways that I was able to get involved, and everybody in every single department around campus was very open to allowing me to take on more graphic roles and do different things that, maybe even nobody did before me, which provided me an avenue to put practical application to the things that I was learning in the classroom, and at the same time build up a very large portfolio. So that the time that I graduated, even though I had a digital media concentration, I still had a lot of the bases for IMC. And I ended up getting an internship in PER because I had communication experience, but also because of the work that I was doing on the side. And I was able to kind of form myself a new role when I got in with the Patriots, because PR internships traditionally didn't have any graphical elements, but I was able to bring that to the table as well. And that was from my classroom work and my extracurriculars at Carroll, being involved with sports information, being involved with the football team, doing sports at WJCU, a lot of different things that I had outside of the classroom that really helped prepare me for the rigorous season that I had with the Patriots, for sure.
Good, thank you. I see someone asked about film production. And Bob would probably be a good one to answer, because you're going to teach the documentary production class next year.
Right. Well, one of the bottom lines is the idea of film. It's pretty much everything is digital today. So that's one thing. And we do have digital classes that you can take where you can learn to edit and also film, okay, as they say. It's all the same thing today. But also, one of the big areas that is growing in this world of media right now is documentaries, and we have a couple classes that deal with that, including actually producing some documentaries that you can actually show and a potential employer about what you can do, because that's really what they want to see. And it's really storytelling. We have a lot of storytelling classes, and that's really what film production, film writing is all about. And we have lots of classes, and more important, I guess not more importantly, but just as important, we have the equipment that you can use, that you can actually go and produce product, which is really critical. And also our internship connections, again, is really critical, that you can get an internship and really work with the pros in that field. And both of the few people that teach the digital media in that area, and also the writing, we have lots of experience in the business. So we really know, we know the way that things really are in the business, and we can give you a lot of professional training too.
Yeah. I think that we have course in American cinema, global cinema, uh, a documentary analysis kind of course, and then the production for documentaries. There's also, you have the option to work independently and to build your own skill set as you go along with the direction from different members of the department. The next question was, how would a student go about getting on WJCU? When you are interested in joining, you would do, we call it Radio Boot Camp. It's a 1 credit and it fulfills a core requirement for creative and performing arts. And it's your training. It's an FCC licensed station. And so everyone who is going to work at WJCU has to take this 7-week class that prepares you to really know how to work within a professional radio station. Because we're over the air as opposed to streaming, we are subject to FCC requirements. Once you finish that, you can get a show what we call the Heights. That's a formatted program that allows you to, you choose the music, you choose, you'll do all the station ID calls, the news, those kinds of things, but you can do the weather, but you get to develop your skill set in being on the radio, and then you move into a genre show, which can be really any format you want. Eddie, you had a sports talk show, didn't you, that you used to do as a podcast?
Yeah, I ended up having a couple of different shows, all sports related, and at the same time, what I would like to highlight as well is if that's an avenue that you would be interested in going down, while you're on the Heights, you're already eligible to start and join the sports team and get on air calling live games right from your freshman year on. We teach you to work behind the board. We teach you to go out and actually set up the kit at the stadium, or if you're traveling, we do travel to games specifically for football the most. And then around the OAC, our conference, for different basketball and different sports, baseball. So you can build up a resume like that, and at the same time, right after you finish the Heights, then you, like Dr. Finucane was saying, you move into a genre show, which doesn't have to be music. You can have a talk show. You can, like I did, sports, but everybody's really willing to work with you if you come up with an idea yourself and you just run it past a couple of people. Everybody's generally very supportive. And gives you an opportunity to really lay your own foundation for what you want to do.
Thanks, Eddie. I'm going to pull up these other 2 questions here. And one of the things I'd like to say about the radio, it's like Mr. Anoel was talking about with the Carroll News. Freshman year, first semester on campus, you can get involved and get on air, get in print, whatever you want. That is one of the pieces that is really important to us, to give you the experience that you're most interested in. We don't want you to have to wait until junior or senior year to get high enough in the hierarchy that you can, get a show or write an article or something. Any coursework in graphic design. There is a graphic design course that our majors can take. It's in the art history department. But it's definitely one that you should look at if you're interested. There are drawing classes in art history as well. One of the students who just recently joined us is going to do a comm major and an art history minor, and the majority of her work will be in studio art kinds of classes, the graphic design, the drawing, the painting, and then she'll take a couple of the art appreciation kinds of classes. I don't mean to minimize that, but I don't know what else you want to call them, like world art or something. But she can create her own self-design minor in the art and design. And so you do have that option. We are not an art school. It's a liberal arts program. And the idea is that you as an individual will come in and find the area of study that most interests you. And so you're going to do better academically. You're be stronger student, grades higher in that, if you're in something you love. And so, we hope you love communication, but you really want to find what really piques your interest. I need to stop saying really. You should look at the kinds of, what classes do you want to get up and go to? What really appeals to you? And think about then what would a major be in that area? And really, the liberal arts programs are designed to critical thinking, problem solving, analysis, and developing written and oral communication skill. And it's the context that you do it in, it should be the one that you love. so that you do well in it, because that will help you as you launch into the next segment of your academic or career journey. But just know that the coursework should help you grow and develop and deepen your interest in knowledge. We have another question. Does JCU have connections with Society of Professional Journalists? Yes, we have an on-campus chapter, and they host professional development opportunities, speakers, and that in conjunction with the Cleveland chapter of the Society of Professional Journalists. Again, it's something you could join from day one and get involved. There's student leadership of it. The journalism professor and advisor to the Carroll News is the one who advises that organization as well. And what other options in communication beside digital media? Gwen, you want to talk a little bit about IMC?
Yeah. So me and Morgan, we're both IMC majors. So this is kind of the route you want to take if you're interested in like PR, advertising, more the creative side of marketing. So far, like as juniors, we've like worked our way up with classes, but one of my favorite things about this whole IMC program is the classes that we have available. I've taken classes in branding, media writing, an IMC campaigns class. We do a capstone where you have to get an internship. So all the classes are very hands-on. It's not as data heavy as I would say like the marketing and Bowler is. So this is a lot more, again, as Dr. Finucane said earlier, the creative marketing side of things. And that's what really drew me into the program. In one of my classes last semester, we did a whole brand audit of Hulu, which was like, you looked at all the brand assets, things like that. But it's a very hands-on major, which is one of the things I love about it. I don't know if Morgan, you can add any more about that.
Yeah, I would say that the hands-on aspect of this track is one of my favorite aspects. Being able to use my creative skills to design and also look at already existing brands and stuff like that. My favorite class that I've taken is definitely the branding class that Gwen was just talking about. But I also have loved my nonprofit marketing classes and things like that that really pique my interest. Last semester, I also took a web design class. So these classes are giving me opportunities and building my skill set to be able to take those skills out into internships and future job opportunities.
Yeah, and
Thanks,
one more
Morgan.
thing
Thanks,
to
Gwen.
kind of,
Yeah.
oh, one
Go
more
ahead.
thing just to add is one thing I've noticed with my communication classes is I've never not wanted to go to class. I'm always looking forward to going to class, learning new things, just because the material is so interesting. It's so engaging. I'm still like learning like skills I want to learn, and I can apply it in a real world setting. But I don't think there's one day where I'm ever getting out of bed saying like, I don't want to go to classes, because every day I look forward to going. Especially the communication school, there's such a community around it. All my classes, I know almost everybody in them. We can all work together. And that's something I just don't think you get in a lot of the other departments.
I want to make sure before we move on, I think Lakin had raised her hand again. Did you have another question?
Okay. Where?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry.
No, you're
That's
fine.
clear. That's why we're here, is to answer
The
your
screen
question.
keeps moving, and so I can't find people.
Yeah, no, not a problem. I just before we moved on. So that's not a problem.
Go ahead.
So this is kind of like a advice question. What do you guys recommend we do now to prepare for the next 4 years in the communications department? What do you recommend we do over the summer and to prepare now for college and getting a degree in communications?
Great question.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I
Morgan,
would,
Gwen, Eddie?
Oh.
Go ahead, Bob. I'm sorry.
go on, Gwen, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say one, just get ready to practice your time management. College in general is a lot easier if you get a schedule down. But another thing is just take advantage of the opportunities that John Carroll has to offer, especially within the communication school, if that's what you're interested in. John Carroll has a lot of different job opportunities, like experience opportunities, things to get involved in. And that's one thing I regret, is not getting involved sooner. My freshman year, it took me till like my sophomore year to finally like initiate myself in communication things. So make sure when you come in as a freshman, get involved, figure out what you like, because by the end of the day, it's the skills you gain from it. And if you can get those skills earlier than later, you'll be way more prepared for your future.
Alrighty, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I was just going to add that one thing you can do in the summer, especially as you're having time right now, is experience media. In other words, don't just go to the social medias platforms you usually normally use. Go to a lot of other ones. Check out what's out there. That goes the thing when it comes to movies or television. Experience, see what's out there. All kinds of stuff is out there that most students go into college, but they have limited knowledge of what the medium's about, what the media is about today. That'll really help you with the classes. And for instance, a really simple example of that, if you want to get in film production, here's your chance to see movies, see the old movies, learn from these movies. I mean, they're there for free, most of them through the different streaming sites today. Get a knowledge of that. Go to different platforms when it comes to, if you don't ever use Facebook, well, you might as well go to it and see what that's all about and go to the other sites, not only the ones that you're normally using. Because when you get a job in the business, it's not going to be just about those sites. It's going to be about your broad knowledge of what's out there. And that's really important.
Thank
Sir,
you.
thank you so much.
Any other, I see we have one more question here, but does anybody else have anything first? So our third concentration beside digital media and IMC would be a communication advocacy. And this is students who want to learn in depth persuasion, argumentation, and really build skills as someone who can make a point, develop the argument, and persuade people that they are, to think in line with them. This is probably an area where we see more of our students who are going to law school or into a professional program of some sort, graduate school, but they're definitely building the skills to be effective advocates. And the thing you have to keep in mind with the comm major, there's a lot of overlap. There are 7 courses that every major takes. Then there's a group of what we call breadth of interest, and these are courses that are integral to understanding communication. And so a rhetorical criticism class, one of the film classes would fit there, some of the more traditional small group communication courses and every student takes 2 of those. There's 12 different classes and you choose 2 of them. And then you also have your concentration of study. And in there you'll have an intro level, a writing course, an advanced research course, and then some electives. And so by the time you get through, you really have that broad-based liberal arts education, but you also have skills that will help you as you transition into the workplace.
And
Does that
also
help with?
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, we also have that wonderful speech and debate activity that a lot of students take advantage of, especially those that want to go to law school, and also that really want to perfect their communication skills. We have an excellent program. We win national awards every year for that.
Yes. Yeah,
So
we've won the national tournaments a number of times, first place. And we also have a Public Relations Student Society of America that's connected to, we're a student chapter of the Public Relations Society of America. And they offer professional development. They have professional development days, speakers, and the student group helps people. They bring in the speakers to campus and that, and projects and activities that they do, again, to help students become those professionals. You need to learn about networking. These are the ways you can network with people. You need to think about informational interviews. I know a number of us require those for different classes. And the idea is you need to understand what that career is about and that job. And so you want to go and talk to people who are doing that job and find out. I've had students come back and say, oh my, I love it. I can't wait. And other students come back and say, that's not what I thought it was. I can't, that's not for me. Now what am I going to do? And so you have that opportunity to really try on things. The internships, the interviews, the networking, all of that helps you in that regard. Zach, I see we're almost out of time.
Yeah, so I hate to be the one to cut it short. Peggy Finucane, would you mind dropping your email in the chat feature? That way, if any students do have any follow-up questions, you seem to be a wealth of knowledge. For the sake of moving everything along, I want to thank all of our faculty, current students, and also alumni for taking some time out of their day. And then extending a gratitude to everyone who took part in this session. Hopefully this was informational and enjoyable for you. A special thanks to those students who have already chosen JCU to continue their education. If you are looking to take that next step, you can take part, or you can do that on the JCU Gateway. Just as a little heads up, we do have our Boulder Professional Development session kicking off in about a minute, along with our Center for Career Services, okay? Thank you so
Okay.
much, and I hope
And
you
if-
have a great rest of the day.
Thanks, Zach. And if you want to talk to one of the students or to Mr. Knoll, just send me an email and I'll forward it to them.
Yeah, happy to
So,
talk to anybody. That'd be great.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thanks a
Thank you.
lot. Thanks for having us.